Assalamualaikum and a very good day I bid to Dr. Haji Kamarudin bin Haji Abu Hassan. My name is Nur INSYIRAH HANNANI binti AMINUDIN and my intake is PISMP June 2021. I'm from Institut Pendidikan Guru Kampus Raja Melewar, and for today I will present about the pupil's multiple potential. As a teacher, it is important for us to acknowledge our students' potential. It is to enable each student to develop and improve based on their characteristics. It is also to provide guidance that is suitable to their learning ability and needs. So as we know, students have different abilities. Therefore, as a teacher, we need to come up with different approach that suits their characteristics in order to make them have the opportunities to learn like everyone in the classroom. And it is also to ensure that each student receive equal opportunities for them to learn despite their differences. These are some of the students' unique traits. The students are different in their cognitive development, therefore we can see that some of the students will learn faster than the other, while some students will learn a little bit slower. And they also have different ability. Some students are good at the academic performance, some students are good at sports, while the others are good at arts and some other abilities that have many varieties. And they also have different learning style. For example, there are students who like it when they learn in a quiet and peaceful environment, while there are some students who find it hard to learn if the environment around them is too quiet. They also have different interests and different social intelligence and different motivation, aspiration, and potential. So the question is, how can students differ from one another? These are some of the factors that make students different from one another. The students are born with different intelligence. Some of them are born with higher IQ level, while some of them are born with lower IQ level. They also come from a different social and economic background. So the parents' social background will affect the child's cognitive development. For example, a child who have a parents who works as a engineer will have maybe a higher IQ level because the parents will practice the problem-solving skills to their children at an early age, so they will be able to do that at an early age. They also have a different learning ability. Some students have a different approach that could help them learn, so they didn't learn the same way with one another. Another one is also the inequalities between students and available curriculum. So this is talking about the school. So the schools that provide more curriculums have more high achievement students because of the curriculum provided to them. As a teacher, it is important for us to acknowledge these factors that could make students different from one another. This is because it is to allow us to understand why students are able or unable to learn well. So when we see a kid who not be able to learn well, we must not give up on them, and we must approach them with different learning style. It is also to allow deep understanding of the diversity of students' potential. So this means that students are born with different potential, right? So they are not only born with academic potential. So we should see other aspects of their potential and acknowledge it. For example, if they are good at sports, we need to develop that ability, that potential for them in order to them to have achievement in that area. And it is also to promote effective teaching and learning. So this is for us to teachers to be able to come up with different methods in order to approach the students with a different in ability. And it is also to allow teachers to find the right way to help students to learn. So the next ones that we are going to take a look at is policymaker initiatives in the aspect of infrastructure and the teacher-pupil ratio. So, the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025 has outlined several steps to overcome this issue. The ministry will apply common standards for school infrastructure. So these common standards need to be followed by the school in order to have infrastructure that is conducive for the students. It is also to make sure that the school provides sufficient flexibility for facilities and equipment. So the schools need to have enough facilities and equipment to help the students learn better. So these are some of the measures taken by the policymaker. So the policymaker want to ensure that every school have acceptable minimum level of infrastructure that is cost effective. They also want to make sure that the school perform immediate maintenance for schools in critical need for repair. So if there are facilities or equipments that need to have a maintenance, the schools need to make sure that they do it quickly in order to make sure that the students have a suitable learning place for them. And the policymaker also want to make sure that they upgrade facilities and equipment in school to support the learning needs of the students that changes over time. So the next one is the commitment of schools, teacher, parents, and community in the students' learning process. The commitment between schools, teachers, parents, and community is important because it is to ensure that parents, community, and private sector are also involved as partners in education. So this means that the responsibility of teaching the students and making sure that the students achieve the best in their education not only relies on the teachers but also on the parents, community, and private sector to play their part. So it is also to allow them to focus on delivering quality education that is integrated, effective, and efficient. These are the initiatives taken by the government in order to strengthen the community. So the first initiative is raise awareness among parents and community about their role in the children's education. So this is to make sure that the parents are aware that the responsibility of teaching the student doesn't only depend on the teachers, but they also must play their part, which for example, if the teacher gives the students the homework, the parents must make sure that their children do that when they are at home. So the second initiative is provide guidance to school to lead the process of parental and community involvement. So the school needs to lead and make sure that the parents and community come together to learn about what is the best for the students' education. And the third one is link financial assistance for both students. And the fourth one is establish PTAs to play a greater role. Which means that it is to make sure that parents come together to decide on the students' education, and PTA stands for Parents Teacher Associations. And the last one is to increase the connection of Sekolah Amanah with other fields for the private sector involvement. So what we can learn from this topic is that the learning process happens in schools, houses, and communities. It doesn't only happen in schools. Therefore, parents and community also must play their role in order to make sure that the students have the good learning process for them. And the second one is good schools, parental, and community involvement will develop students to have better performance. So parents and community and schools that is highly involved and care for the students will develop students to have a better performance. And the third one is to ensure that everyone play their part. So not only teachers are responsible for the students to achieve academic achievement, but the parents and the community also must play their part. And the last one, schools must provide conducive environment for positive working relationships between schools, parents, and community. So you can try answering this question. Students are born with different abilities and potentials. As a teacher, how do we overcome these differences in the classroom, considering the fact that each student have different learning ability and style? So that is all from me. Thank you.